On this week's episode of Pop Culture Weekly, I talk to David Castañeda from Most Dangerous Game New York and Woody Harrelson and Kaitlin Olson from Champions. Let's go!
Welcome to Pop Culture Weekly with Kyle McMahon from iHeartRadio. Your pop culture news, views, reviews, and celebrity interviews on all the movies, TV, music, and pop culture you crave weekly. Here's Kyle McMahon.
What's up? It's Kyle McMahon, and you're listening to Pop Culture Weekly with Kyle McMahon. And I, of course, am Kyle McMahon, which I just said, so now it's become a bit redundant. In any event, I am so glad you are here and hanging out with me for the next hour-ish or so, 45 minutes, who knows. But I am really happy that you are here, seriously. And we've got a lot of great stuff this week. I talk with David Castan from Most Dangerous Game New York, which is, if you haven't seen the show, the new season is New York. It's like a manhunt series, and it's basically like this man, Victor, played by David Castan, is a kind of fighter, like a boxer, whose sister ends up being held for ransom for $500,000. So he ends up agreeing to participate in this kind of game where he's being hunted around New York by like the world's most experienced manhunters. And for every hour that he is able to avoid death, he receives a big deposit in his bank account. But only one person will be left alive when that clock runs out in 24 hours. It's a really cool show, and I can't wait for you to see it. Christopher Waltz is an Oscar winner. He's also in it. And it comes out today on the Roku Channel. So head on over to the Roku Channel and watch that. It is really good. You'll love it. Then I talk with Cheech Marin. Again, I talked to him a few weeks ago. Talked to him about his role in the film Champions. And then I talk with Woody Harrelson and Kaitlin Olson about their roles in Champions. I love this film. I also talked to the director, Bobby Farrelly, of course, of the Farrelly brothers. It is really heartfelt. It's also hysterically funny. It is about a former minor league basketball coach who has to, by court order, manage a team of basketball players with intellectual disabilities. And Cheech Marin plays the owner of the center. And obviously, Woody Harrelson is the coach. Kaitlin Olson is awesome. Really, really, really great film. And so I interview them today, and I'm really excited for you to hear all of it. We're also, just FYI, there's going to be a quick follow-up episode, like coming out quickly. It's not going to be next Friday like it normally is. It's going to be Monday, right after the Oscars. So I will be speaking with Jacqueline Coley, who's the awards editor for Rotten Tomatoes, all about the Oscars. So hopefully no slaps and everything goes off, relatively smoothly and nobody gets, assaulted live on television. But I'm rooting for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Who doesn't love a multiverse movie that's nominated for Oscars? And Angela Bassett, Michelle Yeoh, that's who I'm rooting for. So, all right, let's get into our first interview with David Castan about Most Dangerous Game New York. All right, are you ready? Here it is, David Castan. How are you, David?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you so much for speaking with me in iHeartRadio's Pop Culture Weekly. So the show is awesome. I really, really have enjoyed it. For you, were you drawn to, as you were reading the scripts, were you like as, nail biting on your seat as I was watching it?
One thing's first, sweet setup. That's one thing.
Oh, thank you.
You're behind your sweet setup. Second, it makes me feel it fills my heart that you actually enjoying the ride. Because when I was reading the script, I think the back half of it, I was like, this is really good. like it turns the page, when once he gets involved in the whole thing. But the beginning, when I spoke to Nick, I had a few notes and ideas of like sort of introducing a little bit more of that flavor in my community to try to bring it into into the story and stuff. And Nick was all game for it. So once those things kind of jumped in, and I was like, oh, this is, and Roku being free to stream, I was like, this is going to be a hit. It's going to be a hit. Yeah, man.
So for, one of the other things that I really enjoyed is that, this sounds weird, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I was going to say that it's your sister that is in trouble rather than, kind of like a damsel in distress sort of girlfriend sort of thing, which I feel like we see all the time.
Yeah.
For me, I think it makes it much more personal and kind of sets itself apart in that aspect. How were you with that? Was that something that kind of piqued your interest? Where I just feel like that's not, it's always like, oh, the girlfriend or is in trouble or something, and this is like, it's my sister.
Yeah, I feel like it's much more relatable. I remember seeing Taken, right? I remember seeing Taken the first time, and I watched it with my dad, and we left the theater, and the first thing we said to each other is, "Where's my sister?" Because there was this very protective thing that you just can't shake off with family. You just can't. And I feel like, to have this sort of be the engine that runs the whole movie, it just makes it very relatable to anyone, because we all have family members that, at one point in time fell ill or became, or, got stuck in a certain sort of problem, and you can't help but to like instinctually want to protect them. That's all you want. And so even the fact that he's not doing it for the money, and I think that that's something that's very honorable for this character, like that doing things for money fizzles away really fast. Like there's no motivation. But when you have family, when you have culture, when you have a sort of a legacy to uphold, you can burn that fuel and it'll never go off.
Yeah, I love that. And I think you really hit the nail on the head with that. Watching, I feel like this is kind of a weird thing as well, but I feel like a lot of times I was thinking like, could I do that? And what I mean by that is like, could I, kind of survive, outwit this group? Is that ever something that you crossed your mind where you're like, could I survive this? Could I get through this if this was me, David, as a person in this situation?
Logically, I feel like we could maneuver ourselves into any situation if it involved our family. There's something very instinctual that we can be very effective with things when we don't even think about things, when we just jump into instinct. I'm not sure if I would be able to survive against 5 assassins, right. But would I not back out from it if someone of my family was in danger? Of course I would not back out to it. I would figure out ways to like move mountains to make sure that they're safe. But it's a good question. I think the way Nick Santora, who's the showrunner for this, the way he sort of made it seem, and I think parts of it was, it does feel grounded how he does do things, because when I first read the script, I thought, oh, is this going to be like John Wick, or this going to be sort of this kind of a little bit, that you're watching some kind of genre bending pulpy thing. And he didn't. A lot of it was more so about how do we tactically get out of this place, or like even like the dumb mistake of like getting locked in a closet. It's like it doesn't read like, oh, this is exciting, and it sort of makes the character look a little bit more faulty and more human, which is like, damn, you just got locked yourself in a closet. Like, how the hell are you gonna get out of that now? Yeah. So that's that's it.
And how much of Victor is in you, or how much of you did you put in Victor?
I feel like I had to put a lot of it, because I didn't have. It was sort of kind of resting on the shoulders of Victor to make the people care. And I have siblings, I have sisters, and so I had to make sure that I approached Victor with the same mentality that my parents approached when they first moved to the United States, because it's not so much about pointing out the things that are keeping them from getting what they want, but more so finding the small triumphs on a day-to-day basis to make sure that when someone does feel like, or when they do feel like they can't get through something, focusing on the good things was the fuel to maintain the drive to get better. And so that family sort of philosophy was something that I implemented in Victor to see himself excited to be able to make enough money to pay for the meal, and not so much about like, do I want to become a professional boxer or do I want something bigger in my life? It's like, no, I'm living as a sort of a pawn for my sister to be able to have a better life.
Wow, that's really powerful. And, you know, I didn't think about the immigration element of it, you know, I mean, and how much those stakes become extremely high in a case like that, where, you know, as you said, it's not just the better life for yourself, but the better life for your loved ones as well.
Yeah, and you know, and I feel like everyone is different. You know, everyone has a sort of way of looking at their lives, and you know, they've had to do it to be able to survive. And I feel like, you know, there's no right or wrong way. I just feel like for my own essence to bring to this character, I had to tap into that specific thing. And hopefully, you know, when people watch it, they interpret it however they want. But I mean, maybe that little nugget kind of sticks with them.
Absolutely. And physically, you know, was it fun how much of the practical stunts did you do? And was that fun, or were you kind of scared, or what?
Oh man, I mean, it was so much fun. It was excruciatingly long, but you know, the hardest things to do when you're doing stunts are the things that eventually look the best. So for example, most of the fights, it was, I mean, maybe like 90% of everything was me doing all of them. Yeah, I mean, there was some moments, and I can't think of one off the top of my head where it wasn't me, because I just remember how my body was sort of reacting to all of this, and to, you know, whether it was being wet or falling on the floor, being chased by the dog, or jumping through fire, you know, all of these things that I had an opportunity to do. I knew that in the end, when it comes out, it's just going to look incredible. I was like, oh, when it becomes really hard, that's when I remind myself, like, oh, this is going to look really good. Okay. Like, we got to, you know, I want to make sure that the audience or whoever's watching it, that they don't see the stunt double. You know, sometimes you'll see it, you're like, oh, that's a wig.
Right. Why does David's stunt double have blonde hair? I'm not sure.
Yeah, like, that guy is really fit. David's
what do you hope as people tune in? What do you want the takeaway to be? You know, I think there's a lot of cool stuff going on for you at the center of it. What do you hope for people to take away?
I mean, I want them to enjoy the ride. That's all I want. Like, I want them to sort of sit down and just forget about whatever's happening on their day-to-day. Sit down, you know, maybe put your phone to the side a little bit. Don't be reading whatever's coming out online, whatever. Just sit down, chill out, grab a bowl of popcorn, maybe a drink, maybe some nachos. I don't know. I'm a big fan of those things.
Yeah, me too.
And just and sit down with your family and just, you know, shoot the shit and you know, enjoy a 2-hour ride. That's all I really want, you know.
Awesome. I love it. Thank you so much for speaking with me, David. I can't wait for everybody to enjoy the ride like I have.
Oh, thanks, Kyle, man. That means a lot, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day, man.
All right, man. You too.
Thanks. There he is. David Castañeda. Most Dangerous Game New York is available right now to stream. Episode 1, anyway, on the Roku Channel. Head on over once you're done listening and check it out. And let me know what you think of the show. I really, really enjoyed it. and I think you will too. So, next up, we have got Bobby Farrelly. So, you know, he is one half of the Farrelly brothers who have those raunchy, slightly offensive comedies. I mean, they didn't offend me. I love them. Dumb and Dumber, Me, Myself, and Irene, Something About Mary, Shallow Hal, Stuck on You, Fever Pitch, Heartbreak Kid, Hall Pass, The Three Stooges, Dumb and Dumber 2. Of course, Peter did Green Book, the Oscar-winning film, won Best Picture, and also The Greatest Beer Run Ever, which came out last year with Zac Efron and Russell Crowe. Champions is directed by Bobby, and let's dig into my interview with him on Champions. Here he is. Thank you so much, Bobby, for speaking with me. I really appreciate it.
Hey, Kyle, good to see you.
You as well. So, first of all, congratulations on Champions. It is. I love it so much. It is so funny, but it's got such a big heart, too. And I just think it's a real achievement, and especially which is saying something for somebody with a career as yours.
Well, thank you very much. Woody Harrelson, he's fantastic. I love working with Woody, and I just thought he was so real in this movie. And he was that Woody that everyone knows and loves. And he just did such a great job of playing this character, Marcus. I love the fact that he meets this wonderful woman, Katilin Olson, who plays we see her in a different light as an actress. And she just nailed it. And of course, those two, they have a little love story set against the backdrop of Woody coaching all these disabled basketball team, all played by disabled actors. So it was a lot of fun from start to finish.
And when you, and that shows, in the end product, when you decided to make this film, did you have, because the cast is absolutely incredible. Did you have in mind who you wanted to play who? And then additionally, did you know that you wanted to use disabled actors as, in the film?
Absolutely. We knew that we wanted to use disabled actors playing the disabled roles. Years ago, my brother and I made a movie called The Ringer, which Johnny Knoxville. And in that movie, there were a lot of disabled roles, many of which were played by non-disabled actors. It was just a different day and age. We didn't think that much about it. We had a lot of disabled actors in it too, but not all of them. But I think the world's changed enough so that nowadays I realize that that community doesn't get enough chance to play, to be in movies, and certainly so a real role about a disabled person should be played by a disabled actor, because they don't get other roles. They don't get to play non-disabled actors. So it was just being fair. So we were definitely going to hire nothing but disabled actors, and we looked far and wide. We auditioned, and we found 10 really good ones, many of whom had never even acted before, but there was something about their personality that we just thought was perfect for the movie.
And it worked. And how about for Woody and Kaitlin and Cheech? I mean, did you kind of have that in your mind as you're developing the film on who you wanted to play who, or did you do a audition process?
Well, no, there was no audition for any of those three roles, just because those are three incredible actors. I love Katilin Olson. I love her on the TV show. She's on the Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which has been going forever. But she plays Sweet D, and it's a funny character. But I knew that she could do more. And when she came to us, she played a completely different role, absolutely beautiful, lovely, and very, very real. And so I was just I was blown away by her acting chops. Cheech, Cheech is Cheech. He's such a solid guy. And I found out in real life, Cheech comes from a family with people that serve society in that way. They help out people along the way. And so it was kind of like natural for him to play this role of the guy who's in charge of the rec center where all these this team plays. He nailed it.
Thank you. And thank you so much. I really can't wait for everybody to see Champions, and congratulations to you on, as I said, I really feel in an incredible career that you've had, that it's just a crowning achievement. So thank you for that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the kind words. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day. All right. I love his films and his films with his brother. And I really love Champions too. It really has a lot of heart. So it's got that little bit of raunch humor to it, that little grit, but it's also got a huge, huge heart. I really do love this film. All right, next up, I speak once again with the legend, the comedy legend, who I just spoke with him a few episodes ago for Shotgun Wedding, where he played J-Lo's father. He, of course, is one half of the iconic comedy duo Cheech and Chong. He was on Nash Bridges, in The Lion King, Cars, Coco, Oliver and Company. He's also, a avid golfer. He was in Tin Cup with Kevin Costner. Anyway, here he is, Cheech Marin. Thank you so much for speaking with me, Cheech.
My pleasure.
So for this film, you play Julio, who is the kind of, I guess, runs the center where the friends play. What is that like for you to play? I mean, really, in my opinion, such a different role for you here.
It was a lot of fun, because I as a kid, I played a lot of basketball and grew up in gyms. That's where I spent all my time. So that was a kind of a natural playground for me. And so, I was looking forward to working with Woody again. I had worked with him before on a play. And I was interested in seeing how these kids could both play basketball and act, because they were novices at both, and they did each of them spectacularly well, I think.
And for you, was it knowing that that basketball and gyms were such a big part of your life? Was it like a full circle moment for you, where now you're starring in this film surrounding basketball in a gym? Did you ever just kind of stop as you were filming and think, "Wow, this is like kind of full circle"?
You know what really brought it all back to me? There's a certain smell that a gym has, and I smell that gym smell. Oh, it's a combination of light and heat and sweat, and it really brought me back home. So this is going to be fun, and playing with the kids, the friends, they were amazing every day.
For you to work with the friends, it's not often that an actor, especially of your caliber, works with a novice, let alone a whole team of novices. Novices, I think that's the word. We'll go with that. For you, did you find yourself kind of wanting to take them under your wing or giving them pointers, or did you kind of just let them do their thing?
If they needed a little bit of direction or a little help in something, I was very glad to do that, because they took direction very well. A lot better than most actors that I know. They knew how to do it, okay, because they learned stuff. It depended on what their disability is, step by step, and when they can put it together that way, they can do it. And because I really noticed that a lot of them were really good dancers. They may have some physical disability, but when they danced and they could learn it that way, they were spectacular at it. So this is interesting to see how they process, any task that they have to do. Just like an actor, like me, has a certain process that he gets to the place he wants to go, and how to interpret the part.
I love that. I love that. Thank you so much, Cheech. I can't wait for everybody to see Champions. And it's such a great film, and you do such a great job as Julio.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm really proud to be in this film.
Thank you, sir. Guys, not only did I talk to the legend, Cheech Marin, but I talked to him twice in like a month. Love it. I love what I do, and I love that you allow me to do it every single week by listening and, watching the videos, listening to the podcast, interacting on social, reading the blogs. I love it, and I thank you for allowing me to do what I do. All right, next up, Woody Harrelson and Katilin Olson, they, as I said earlier, they, star in Champions, which is such a great film. Of course, Kaitlin has played Deandra D. Reynolds on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia since 2005. That's what, I'm bad at math, 18 years or something? Something like that. 19, 17, I don't know. She's a Primetime Emmy Award-nominated actress for her Quibi comedy series Flipped, which we won't discuss Quibi. That, sad moment in time. She's also on Hacks as DJ Vance. I always forget that, and I don't know why, because she's so awesome as Vance. In any event, and Woody Harrelson, he's Woody freaking Harrelson, right? White Men Can't Jump, Natural Born Killers. He played Larry Flint in The People vs. Larry Flint, which was so good. The Zombieland movies. Love the Zombieland movies. Of course, he was Tallahassee. The Hunger Games as Haymitch Abernathy, among so many, many, many other awesome films and series. So I'm really excited to talk to Woody and Kaitlin. Let's dive right into my interview with them about Champions. Here they are, Katilin Olson and Woody Harrelson. Thank you so much, Woody and Kaitlin, for speaking with me. I really appreciate it.
Got a good voice. This is a good voice.
You can tell he's got like that radio voice, but they also video.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice.
So I love
face of video and a voice.
Yeah, you're a very attractive man.
Oh, thank you.
You got the whole package.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I love the film. It is hysterically funny. It's got heart, which I think is really what sets it aside. For both, I'll start with you, Woody. For you, your character, Marcus, is, very talented, but also kind of self-sabotaging. Is there anything in your career that you've, obviously you're an extremely talented actor, is there anything you've kind of self-sabotaged yourself for?
This is a great question.
Oh, boy. Yes, I certainly have. But, there's been certain opportunities that I dare not even bring up that I should have not sabotaged. But so since I can't bring it up, that doesn't leave a lot to answer with.
That's all right. That's all right. How about for you, Kaitlin?
Oh, God. Oh, I was so happy that was his question. Do I... I am my own worst critic, so I'll always talk myself into, you're terrible and you should quit and no one will ever hire you again. But I don't know if I've ever really let that. I pushed through anyway.
She crushes it. What she means is she crushes it every
everything
time.
I do, so I don't think I've ever sabotaged a project. Now, a relationship.
This is she's telling us her and Rob what?
No, that's pre-Rob. Pre-Rob.
So Kaitlin, for you, Alex is very. I love her because she is very sassy and kind of no holds barred, but also very emotionally connected. Is that something that you can resonate as a person with?
Yeah. I think, she's got this tough exterior that she's desperately trying to hold on to because she doesn't want to let people in because she doesn't want to get hurt and she doesn't want her brother to get hurt. And I think every I'm kind of mostly known for 16 seasons on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and that character is just does not have a heart at all. But I do. I have two little boys. I love them more than anything. I'm mushy and soft. I'm a good friend. And I think that's something I kind of hide sometimes. I think people just want to see me, scream at men and bring shots all day.
I thank you both so much for your time. I love the film. I can't wait for everybody to see it. And you both are just so incredible, not only in the film, but in life and your career. So Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Have a great day, guys.
Very, very attractive.
Oh, thanks. Oh my God. Did Woody Harrelson and Katilin Olson call me hot? Like, are we going to be a throuple? Are we going to all get married and live in a house by the sea in Italy? I'll be their pool boy or whatever. I'll be whatever they want. Oh my gosh. Like, I cannot believe, like, I'm like still freaking out over that. Woody Harrelson and Katilin Olson. Oh my God. It's official. I'll be their pool boy. In any event, that's the show for this week. Go see Champions. It is really a funny film with heart. I love it. You'll love it too. Let me know what you think. Oh, and I joined Letterboxd. It's like a social media app for film lovers where you can log your movies, review them as you see them, create wish lists, and interact with other filmmakers. You know, you write a review and then people can comment on it, or you can comment on other people's reviews or whatever. I love it. Find me. I think I'm Kyle McMahon on there. Just search that. I'm sure you'll find it. I'll also put a link in the show notes. All right, remember, we'll be back Monday for a special episode right after the Oscars with Jacqueline Coley from Rotten Tomatoes as we talk all about the Oscars and what we can look forward to for award season in 2023. All right, I love you. Thank you for supporting me. Love you all. We out.
Thank you for listening to Pop Culture Weekly. Hear all the latest at popcultureweekly.com.
I'm pretty sure that Woody Harrelson and Katilin Olson want to be in a throuple with me. I'm pretty freaking sure that was the underlying feeling there.